Hi, I'm Linwood Barclay, and we're talking about the 23, the conclusion of the Promise Falls trilogy. I guess the pitch for Promise Falls for the whole trilogy would be, what if you had someone who wanted to get even with an entire town and was willing to do anything to do it? Well, I decided to do a trilogy because I had been doing sort of a freestanding novel every year for several years, and I thought, well, what would be a way to kind of step up my game a bit? And I thought, well, what if I had three connected novels where sort of the books one and two had basically a standalone story, but there was something building as a backstory between those two, and then that backstory explodes in book three. And so that's I started thinking that way. So even as I started writing the first book, I knew what the backstory was and where I was headed, even if I didn't have sort of the secondary story of book two worked out. But I knew where I wanted to end up. And it's, the best part of it, I think, was finishing, because I was so worried that I would get to book three and think of something that I wanted to set up in book one, but I couldn't do it because the book was already out, and they hated if you go into Waterstones after the fact and scratch things into novels and so forth. So I wrote them back to back. So I wrote all three novels within 15 months. And as it turned out, even as I was writing the third one, I was making little changes in the page proofs for book one to set up something for book three. So, but as far as surprises go, I think that the biggest surprise for me was that I was able to pull it off. And I just hope that readers feel the same way, that I managed to do it. It really was a new thing to try to create an arc that would go through three books, and to have one, I think, that was compelling and interesting enough. I mean, because if you've read books one and two, and you're also that you can get to what's the big payoff in book three, you want it to be something good. And I think that it is. I think it'll knock people's socks off when they get to that third one and find out what's going to happen to the town of Promise Falls. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. But it was the kind of thing where I really wanted to know before I even started the first book. I wanted to know where I was going to end up and what was going to happen to this town. The third novel in the trilogy, the 23, begins with a very long extended chapter where an awful lot of things happen. I mean, something cataclysmic happens. And I'd always known I was going to do it, and I couldn't wait to get to it. I mean, I had to get books one and two done and out of the way so I could write this first chapter, which is the longest first chapter I've ever done because there's so much that happens in it. But I mean, a real kind of catastrophe befalls this town, even bigger than the one that kicks off book two. And I think it will get people's attention.